Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Concierge Connections. I'm here today with Cynthia Dunbar, who is Concierge Choice Physicians Vice President of Physician Marketing. Welcome, Cynthia.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And today, Cynthia is going to talk to us about a very unique program that Concierge Choice Physicians offers, and it's called the Hybrid Choice. Cynthia, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Hybrid Choice and what makes it different from standard concierge medicine programs that most doctors have, heard about?
Well, I'll start from the patient perspective. So from the patient's perspective, it's the same as any other concierge program. You get the same day, next day appointments. The doctor facilitates specialty appointments. The doctor also is a health coach for the patient. So what they'll do is they will schedule tests that are not normally covered by insurance so that they can follow you and they can see what works for you personally, and they can then give you a wellness plan to follow for the following year. And from the doctor's perspective, it's a little bit different because in a traditional full model concierge program, you have to dismiss all your patients. In this model, it's not like that at all. Patients that want more time and feel like they need the time will opt to join the concierge program. So you'll spend maybe an hour a day, an hour to maybe an hour and a half a day with concierge, and the remainder of the day is the traditional patients, and there is no difference in the type of care each patient receives.
So patients would have a choice then to either become a concierge member or remain a traditional member?
Yes, absolutely.
And there's no change in the service that the traditional patients would receive?
Not at all. It's just like if you are on an airline and you opt for first class, that's an option for you, but you're going to get to the same destination. It's the same aircraft and everything else remains the same.
Okay, but from a physician's perspective then, is that difficult to manage? Is it difficult to manage both a traditional practice and a concierge practice?
Not at all, because you put aside maybe the beginning of the day or the end of the day for appointments for the concierge patients. So it doesn't disrupt the time with the traditional patients.
Okay. So what percentage of patients tend to join a concierge practice in this hybrid choice setup?
I would say between 3 and 8%, and 8% being at the highest at end, but between 3 and 8%.
So it's a very limited percentage of the patients that join.
Yes, and with a hybrid concierge program, what we do is we limit it purposely. So it's a limited program, and that way the doctor can still see the traditional patients. So we limit it we limit the amount of membership on purpose. That way the doctor is not overwhelmed, and it's only 1 hour out of his day, as because it's a limited program.
Okay. So how much revenue could such a small program generate? Is it worth it? Is there a cost benefit?
So from a revenue standpoint, if you are a primary care physician and you have a patient panel of about 1,800, I would say, and your membership fee is approximately $2,000 annually, you can make upwards of $120,000 annually.
Oh, wow. So it is significant revenue, even for a program that only has between 3% and 8% of the total patient population.
Yes, what we find is some programs have 90 patients, some have 54. So it depends on, some have a smaller program and some have a larger program. So the amount of revenue actually depends on the size of the program.
Okay. So the doctor can limit it to, only 3% if he doesn't have a lot of time in his schedule.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So a lot of competitors to CCP like to give the impression that the hybrid choice is a model that doesn't work. What do you say to that?
Well, It's incorrect. We have been in business for over 17 years. Legally, it is legal in all states, and we make sure that it is. Um, and we have successful programs in over 30 states. And most of our programs are hybrid. We have some full programs, but we have the majority of our programs are hybrid choice models.
Okay. So if you've been around for that many years, I suppose the model does actually work. What about skeptical doctors, though? I hear a lot of doctors are just thinking that this is never going to work, or, you know, they don't want to get started with something like this. What do you have to say to those doctors?
Well, that's probably a good percentage of our clients. When we approach them, they already have in their mind that some patients, per se, certain patients will not join the program. One of our physicians was recently interviewed by Medical Economics, Dr. Matai, and she was very surprised at who joined and that there was an interest in this type of program. She just, she said she'll try it. She didn't expect much, but she has a very successful concierge program. And we also have a cardiologist in New York City. And he was also kind of hesitant, and he really didn't think, he wanted to try something because he felt like he needed to try something. And he gave us a try, and he has a very extremely successful concierge program.
So, trying it seems to be the theme then, and then
yes.
Deciding. So if you had one piece of advice then for doctors, would it be just to give you a call and give it a try? What one piece of advice would you have for physicians who are interested in concierge medicine and maybe want to explore a hybrid model?
I would definitely say to give us a call. One of the things that differentiates us from other companies, I believe, is that we actually listen to the physicians and find out what their goals are. We need to find out what their goals are for their practice, how much revenue they would like to generate. And we need to get all that information up front, because what we do is we do a lot of research in the background. So if you decide to then move forward and find out if your practice can see a benefit from a type of program like this, we'll survey the patients, because without patients, you can't have a program. So we'll be able to predict, based on the patient survey, whether you would have a smaller practice or a larger practice, or if it's something that your patients want.
Do you ever find that after you survey patients that a physician opts to go full model and just bypass the hybrid altogether? Does that ever happen?
It has. We've had one or two physicians where that has been the case, because they see, based on the survey results, that they have enough interest to move forward to full. But we also have some physicians that opt to start with the hybrid and transition into a full model. So that's one of the benefits of having a hybrid concierge model, is even though they see the results, they want to see, let me just stick my toe in the water, see if it will work out for me. And if it does, then I can always transition.
Okay. So I guess the thing that a doctor should do if they're interested in learning more about the hybrid choice is to give you a call. What's the best number to reach you?
877-777-6625. Or you can email us at answers@choice.md. Or you can visit our website, www.choice.md. And we're also on social media. So you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter or Instagram.
Great. Well, thank you very much for speaking with us today, Cynthia. And I appreciate all that information.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.